Hello, this is Brian Rowe with Mythic MTG Tech number 70, looking at the From the Vault 20 full spoilers. It just came out. Quick side note here also, I wanted to point out that my Twitter account has changed. I'm moving all of my Twitter interactions over to my personal/professional account at Sartorus. So please add me there if you had previously added me on Mythic MTG Tech. It's just too confusing to run multiple online personalities. I'm only going to have one. You will run into some law and nonprofit stuff, though, over on the Sartorus account. So let's move on to the exciting stuff, the From the Vault 20 spoilers. Everything has been spoiled. This first graphic shows all of them in chronological order. There's some amazing cards here. Dark Ritual, Swords to Plowshare, Hymn to Tourach are just incredible cards. I'm going to talk about them a little bit more later, but it goes all the way on up through Green Sun's Zenith and Kessig Wolf Run most recently. I'm going to take a second here and talk about 5 or 6 of these cards here. And then I've got a few more graphics coming up that really break down which of these are most important and which ones you want to look at both from a play perspective and from a speculation perspective. Let's start here with the Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual is a staple card that has been around a long time. This is the 3rd printing in foil, but don't underestimate the value of that because each of the other 2 printings are above $50 already. Swords to Plowshare is another card that's over the $50 in all the other foil versions and is an amazing legacy staple card. Hymn to Tourach also here is just a super powerful dueling legacy card. So these first 3 are 3 beautiful cards that are going to see a lot of play in legacy. Fyndhorn Elves is next. Now this is probably the most criticized card in the set. I really love this being in here because it is a mana dork, which is a staple of standard formats for years in the past and for years to come. This is something that will be timeless when it comes to Magic, and I like that if you're going to put a low-cost common in there, that it's something that really talks about Magic's history. Impulse is in here, and it's not the most exciting card from the particular deck list that it was taken from, but I'll go into that a little bit later. Wall of Blossoms is just an amazing EDH card, great card overall. Thran Dynamo is also another really great EDH card. Tangle Wire is a really competitive, mean card from 1v1 standard Magic history. Some people also play it in Vintage or try to play it in Legacy. It is probably my least favorite card to play against here, but I really love the new artwork. Factor Fiction is a great EDH card. Chanter's Edict's another great EDH card. Akroma's Vengeance, another great EDH card. If you see a trend developing here, Gilded Lotus, although recently reprinted, but another great EDH card. Inkeyes, not sure what they were thinking there. He's already been reprinted a lot. Char, we needed a token red card. Venser, great EDH card. Colossal Chameleon, not so good EDH card. I mean, I guess he's okay. He's really a cube card. Cruel Ultimatum, another solid cube card, solid EDH card. Jace the Mind Sculptor, probably one of the best cards ever printed, if not the best card ever printed. Green Sun Zenith, an amazing green card in Kessig Wolf Run, a nice little land here. Now let's move into some of the other statistics. This is breaking it down by color. Now a lot of people gave me a hard time in my From the Vault 20 predictions that I did not have a lot of red cards. In fact, I only had 1 red card. It happened to be a red card that's in the same deck as the Thran Dynamo. I nailed it for the right deck, but I got the wrong card out of that deck. But I also nailed it that there aren't that many great red cards in the history of Magic. In fact, almost none. We've got a burn card here, which is a solid burn card, a very good burn card. And nothing else in red. Blue definitely got its fair share. If you include Cruel Ultimatum, it has 5, but just 4 for straight blue. Black also got its fair share of cards, so did green. I was surprised that we were a little bit light on white. There are definitely more white cards, and I was really surprised to only see 1 land, and it's not even a multicolored land. That's what really warms people's hearts, is getting those dual lands, shock lands, fetch lands. I understand the dual lands are on the reserve list, but I would have liked to have seen at least a shock or fetch, preferably a fetch in here that fetches blue. Gilded Lotus, little surprised to see it, although I love the brand new artwork, and I should have been able to guess that they're going to throw something in this set that had Lotus in the name. And Thran Dynamo is a very solid choice. 3 of these cards are also brand new to foil. Fyndhorn Elves is a staple in the Elf decks in Legacy, so it's likely to be popular for that very small amount of people who play Legacy Elves. Impulse is probably not going to be popular outside of maybe as a cube card, and Hymn to Tourach is going to be extremely popular. It's wonderful in Shardless Bug right now in Legacy. It is a great card in Jund in Legacy, and this is the first time it's ever been printed in foil. People are talking about this foil version being a $1 or $2 or $3 or $4, maybe $5 card. I'm betting this will be a $25 plus card in the next 6 months because it's good artwork, it's going to look beautiful in foil, and it is just an amazing card in Legacy. Super happy to see this in here. Now let's look at the value. I've tried to rearrange the cards by what I guess the values are going to be after about 6 months of this set coming out. Now, I know it's a little bit inaccurate, because if I was doing it accurately, it would look something more like this, and you wouldn't really be able to see anything else. But realistically, there are several cards here that could break out between the $20 and $50 range in the next 6 months. A lot of people are going to buy this set. They're going to crack it for the Jace the Mind Sculptor, sell the Mind Sculptor, and throw the rest of these into their trade binder. I would trade for the Dark Ritual, the Hymn to Tourach, the Swords to Plowshares, the Thran Dynamo, and the Green Sun Zenith, and maybe even the Venser in the short term, because they're going to get a lot of value. And nobody realizes how good those other cards are because they're blinded by them. Now, I've got a few suggestions for Wizards going forward. I think they've done a pretty good job with this set. The history of it is really interesting, and I definitely recommend people checking out Gavin Verhey's wonderful article on MTG Daily. I'll head over there towards the end of the video. But I think there's some things that Wizards could do a little bit better. Number one, they should just remove the MSRP. They should call this a community store rewards giveaway and let stores decide how to get it out to customers. Maybe suggest a possible price point or put forward the idea that they should be given away as prizes for tournaments. But the MSRP, coupled with the ability for stores to sell it at whatever they want, is just making fans unhappy. It's very, very, very difficult to find this at retail. So far in the Seattle area, I believe Dreaming Comics is the only one that's committed to actually sell it at retail. I don't know yet what Card Kingdom or Gamma Ray Games is going to sell it at. Shane's Sports Cards down in the Renton area may also be selling it at retail. Everywhere else that I've talked to has quoted me prices at $150 to $300 on a pre-order where they're also wanting prepaid. And as a consumer, being quoted prices that are really high like that months in advance, it makes me sad. It kind of demoralizing. So either remove the MSRP or come up with some contractual way to actually get them out to customers at the suggested retail. Number two, get a little more community involvement going on. I think that Gavin and the Wizards team did a great job coming up with the cards that are in this, but the community doesn't really feel involved. Maybe try using Kickstarter so that there's a way that you can interact with the community during the process. You could even have goals on there that if there is enough of number of people who pre-order via that Kickstarter, you would have more new artwork for more of the cards, or add some type of a polling feature so that individuals can vote on each of the cards, or maybe even just a small percentage. Put up like 5 out of the 20 cards as being available for the community to vote on, and the rest of them are Wizards' choices. Wizards is a company that's been around for 20 years doing Magic. But a lot of what they're doing still feels like it's 20 years ago. There's a lot of top-down, we're going to tell you what's best. I love some of the stuff that's been done where you have the community create the cards. From the Vault could be a product that brings the community in to celebrate Magic on a yearly basis, if it was more community-based. I hope to see it in the future. Before we close, let's take a quick look at Gavin's article. I definitely recommend checking it out. It's got 20 years of Magic history in it and 19 different deck lists. It's over here on Daily MTG. It's from the Vault 20. I also want to point out that I did call a few of these deck lists and also had a few that were very, very close for each of the years here. My favorite that was chosen has to be the, well, Mike Long's Prosbloom deck. Does have a special place in my heart because I do remember playing it as a combo deck. But I really like the one that they chose, Thran Dynamo, out of the 1999 deck, which has 4 Curse Scrolls, 4 Mox Diamonds, 4 Grim Monoliths, Thran Dynamos, Voltaic Keys, Wildfire. I was hoping Wildfire would be the card to come out of this. But there's just some really wonderful decks listed here from some of the greats of all-time Magic history. This is a great white-blue deck. Psychotog is a wonderful deck. I can't tell you how good this article is. It's got a lot of Magic history in it. The article is well worth reading. Final closing thought also here. Even in doing this video, I really realize how many of these cards are cube cards. This is clearly designed at the casual cube audience. Almost every single one of these cards is extremely playable in a powered or unpowered cube, and that seems to be the clear audience here. Oh, thanks. This has been Brian Rowe with Mythic MTG Tech. Also remember, I changed my Twitter account. It is now Sartorus.